Hello and welcome to Laserfiche 101. Today we're going to cover some of the basics behind Laserfiche, including the folder browser, the main document view, the Laserfiche scanning application, snapshot, and searching within Laserfiche. The first thing we're going to do is open up the repository and log in. When we first log in, we'll see the main folder browser. And this looks a lot like what we've probably been used to for many years, Windows Explorer. And it behaves very similar to Windows Explorer. Double-click to open up things. Double-click to open up subfolders. Right-click, cut, copy, paste, delete. We've got rename, the ability to email the document out of the system, email specific pages out of the system, and recycle the document. The same holds true for the folders. Right-click, cut, copy, paste, delete, etc., etc. So why don't we just test it real quick? We'll right-click Invoices, and we'll cut it. We'll go to the snapshot test, right-click it, and we'll paste it. And we'll move it. Okay. Good thing about the new versions of Laserfiche is we have the undo. Let's undo that when we'll bring it back to where it was, which was sample documents. Okay. This is the main folder browser. Pretty simple but powerful. Again, double-click to move around. Right-click to perform a lot of different tasks, including cut, paste, and copy. Next, we're going to move into the main document view. Double-click the Invoices document. And this is our main document view. We have the thumbnail view over here, the image view right here, and this is a TIFF file. And we have the metadata view over here. Okay. We can save other kinds of documents within Laserfiche, not just TIFF. So TIFF comes in through scanning, import, or snapshot. We can dump any kind of a document in Laserfiche, a Word document, PDF, MP3, video file, etc., etc. Anything can be stored within Laserfiche. The difference being that when I double-click my Invoices document, this is going to open up in what we call the Laserfiche viewer. Okay, so the main Laserfiche viewer. Whereas if I double-click a Word document, it's going to open up a Microsoft Word. Okay, so an electronic document, the like Word, Excel, WordPerfect will open up in their own applications. Okay, those documents, however, will be incorporated into the search. It can also be collaborated on with check-in and check-out. All right, back to our main document view. Take a look at a couple of the features within the document view. The first one is the annotations. We have a stamp, a whole bunch of different kinds of stamps here. I hit more. I can actually go to add. I can import from files, so I can import a signature, a picture, something that I've created in a BMP file that I've created in Paint or in Photoshop, or I can create a custom stamp, and I've got a couple of different things I can do. So we'll do the date, and that does today's date for me. Okay, you can see it up here in the corner. And you can control the size, whether or not it's public or personal. Quick Stamp is one-time use. We'll hit OK. And we'll give it a different name. So we have one out there called Date Test. Okay, apply stamp. If I grab that like so, I can move it around on the page, or grab a corner of it, I can resize it. If I right-click it, I can go to Properties. I can control color, the opacity, so I can make it more opaque, kind of blend into the background a little bit, and I can control the rotation as well. Okay, I can make it 90 degrees, for example. Hit OK. Resize it. There you go. Save. Okay, got other kinds of stamps in here. You are approved. Same thing. Drag and drop it to move it. Grab a corner to resize it. Grab a corner to resize it. There we go. Right-click, Properties. Okay, same thing. We can change the color, the opacity, the rotation, etc., etc. Save this, and we'll look at a couple more of the annotations. Next is Sticky Note. Sticky Note, you can leave a message for somebody or a set of instructions. Please note that these are searchable, so we can use this to search the document. Okay, there's several annotations that are searchable. If I drop the annotation list down here, Sticky Note, text box, call out text are all searchable on a keyword. So any keyword in here like leave and message I could search on. Some of our other annotations include highlight. So I can bring a specific area into focus, or redactions. So I can redact out a section. And this is a very powerful little annotation. So I don't have to go with a magic marker and make photocopies of documents. I can go ahead and print it right out of Laserfiche and have this show up as a black box. I can see through it now because I have admin rights, but if I was to, again, print this out or have this out on the web for the general public, they would not be able to see through annotation. They would see a black box. Depending on what state you're in, you can actually go ahead and change that black box to a white box. And I say that depending on state because it can be illegal in some states, from what I understand. Okay, that's the redaction. It's there. Go ahead and use it. Other annotations include underline, strike through. I can attach an image to an image, so I can attach a JPEG or another TIFF to this particular document, or Word document, an attachment. So I can actually go out into my documents, hit open, and then drop it into the document. And that is attaching that Word document, Terrytown. Save. Okay. If I double-click the thumbnail, that will move me within the document. I can also use the arrow key here to move within the document as well. Okay, to remove an annotation, simple. Right-click it and delete it. Right-click and delete. Okay, clean up the document. We'll hit save. Another thing about the document in view is if I actually print this out, I have an option under image options to clean off the document. So may I want just redactions. I don't need the other annotations on there, so I can go ahead and I can turn those off and print just the redactions. Okay, that's how I can print a clean copy of the document, and I can hand it out to someone in the public or someone in the office. The main thumbnail view also is very powerful. Not only does it move me through the document, but I can go ahead and I can rearrange the document by dragging and dropping pages within the document. So I can reorder it essentially. I can email out a specific page or series of pages or delete a page out as well. I can rotate images. On the right-hand side of the screen, we have what we call the metadata pane. The metadata pane contains information like template information. We'll look at template information versus text information later on during searching, but I will explain it briefly. If I turn the text view on, the text view here shows me that this document has been OCR'd, and what that is optical character recognition. So it takes the information off of a typewritten page. Okay, that's key, a typewritten page, not a handwritten page, and it turns it into a search string. So I can search on any of these words on this particular image, and then it will change it depending on the image that it's on. So this is a 4-page document. It would have 4 corresponding text search strings that go along with it. If it's handwritten, such as a birth record or a death record, a marriage record, building record, zoning, etc., those particular departments have a lot of handwritten records. I can use a template to find the document, especially stuff that is older and was handwritten with script and stuff like that. You can still use the template to search it. We'll hit exit, and this will take us out of the main document view, and we're going to move on to Laserfiche scanning. Laserfiche scanning will follow whatever folder you're in. So if I want to scan into a specific folder, I want to go ahead and I want to browse to that folder first. So we'll double-click subfolder, and we'll scan into the subfolder directory. You can hit scan from the shortcuts on the top or from File, Scan. We use standard mode. And what we have here is our configuration on our left-hand side. On our right-hand side, it corresponds to the default properties, such as the name, whether or not I'm assigning metadata to this, like a template, or I can actually turn the template off altogether. And settings, I can change the location of where I'm going to store the document, or I can change the volume. I can also change the name right here as well. If I hit image processing, I get all my image enhancements that come with Laserfiche scanning. These can be used to basically enhance the image, and of course we want to have the nicest images possible because we may perpetuate these images for years and years into the future. Border padding and removal, can go ahead and remove black borders from documents, pad a document. Color removal will remove color from an image. It will also remove watermarks from stuff like checks, and that may be good so that I can actually go ahead and OCR that check and pull information like the name and address off of it. Color smoothing will go ahead and smooth out color documents. Okay. We've got crop. I have the ability to crop a document. So say I had a birth record with 2 different birth records on it in a book. I can go ahead and do a top crop, take that crop off for the first person, and then do a bottom crop, and then go ahead and take that off for the second person. So I end up with 2 documents from one page using the crop feature. To skew is probably the most overused feature within Laserfiche. To skew should only be used if your pages are crooked, because what it's going to do is essentially straighten out pages. If they were photocopied crooked or your scanner has really loose guides, then I would use to skew. I turn it off if I wasn't going to have skewed pages running through the scanner. To speckle, we'll clean up a document, so we'll go ahead and clean up specks off of it, dust, debris, etc., etc. You have to be careful to speckle. If you turn it up too high, it will go ahead and start removing the eyes, the dots from I's and dots from J's, etc. Invert works on carbon copies, so something that has a black background with white text. I can go ahead and invert that so that it has a white background with black text. Line removal works well on stuff like W2s, W9s, checks, etc., etc. Something that has text bumping up against a line, such as a name or an address. If I had an A that was bumping up against the line, it can become B. So I use the line removal to essentially remove the line so that I get a better and more accurate OCR off of it. Again, OCR is optical character recognition, and we're going to use OCR for typewritten pages. Resize should be used sparingly because it will degrade the image quality, but it does come in handy in specific cases. So if I had a 20-page document and one of those pages was legal, so 8.5 by 14, and all my other pages were 8.5 by 11 or letter, I can go ahead and use resize to take that one 8.5 by 14 and bring it down to the 8.5 by 11. Rotate, we should always use rotate. It's going to make sure that our documents aren't upside down. If a document is upside down, OCR will still try to OCR the document, but won't pull any viable information off of it. Rotate can also be used in cases of really old dog-eared documents that have been stapled over and over and over again. If I try to run those through a scanner, oftentimes it will jam the scanner when it hits the rollers. With Rotate, it can actually put those documents in upside down, and it will go ahead and rotate the documents for me correctly, and then we can apply the OCR to it. And then we have Laserfiche Smooth. Laserfiche Smooth can be used in cases of something that's 3 or 4 generations photocopied. The text becomes more jagged. Smooth will go ahead and rebuild the text for us. So again, when we OCR it, we'll go ahead and have a much nicer OCR and pull more words off of it more accurately. OCR, optical character recognition, and then page removal. Page removal can be used to get rid of blank pages. So if I had a document that had mixed documents, such some stuff had writing on the back and some didn't, I can go ahead and use page removal to remove the blank images. And we always want to make sure that OCR is last, and you can move these around pretty easy. Just drag and drop them, okay, to change the position. If you want to get rid of something, you right-click it and you can delete it out. All right, go back to image processing, and I'll show you. We'll walk through it real quick. We'll do page removal. It gives you a little wizard down here. I'll go ahead and remove files that are less than 300 bytes or 3K. Hit finish. And then essentially we're going to go ahead and we remove this up because we want OCR to be last. Okay, page removal first, rotate second, and then OCR last. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit the scan button. And we're using universal capture. You may have a desktop scanner as well. Desktop scanner will be hooked right up to your machine, your computer. All right, so it's brought our image in. Again, it's given it a name. It's going to bring a couple more images in. Okay, it brought 2 in. Okay, you can see your thumbnail view down here. This is the main image view right here. If I double-click the thumbnail, it should bring me to the next page. Okay, I can split the documents right here as well. So if I want to split this up into 2 documents, I can right-click it, say Create New Document. Right-click them, rename. Okay, when I'm done, I can hit Store. That takes the document out of Laserfiche scanning. Go ahead and exit. And it brings it into the folder, the subfolder that I was in earlier. Okay. Now, if I want to add pages to a document, that's also very easy in Laserfiche. What I want to do is go ahead and open up the document and I wish to add pages to. So we'll say we'll add a couple of pages to sample 1. We'll double-click sample 1. We'll go to File. We'll go to Scan. We'll ask us where I want to put it. So I have a couple of different options here: before first page, after last page, or after a specific page number. We'll say after last page, hit OK. It brings up the Laserfiche scanning window. I simply load the scanner up, hit Start Scanning. It brings the additional images in for me. And when it's done, I'll hit the Store button. Okay, a couple other buttons up here. This is Resume or Continue. This comes in handy on documents that are, several hundred pages long. So my feeder only holds 50 pages and my document is 100 pages. I can go ahead and scan the first 50 pages in. I can hit Resume Scanning, this button right here, and it will start in 51, 52, etc., etc. Rescan will potentially pick up any issues that you had with jamming. So you can go ahead and put the document in where it jammed, and it'll pick it back up. All right, in this particular case, we've added a couple of pages to this document. We hit Store and exit out of scanning. And now we have 4 pages. Okay, so that's Laserfiche scanning in a nutshell. If you explore around in there, you'll find there's a lot more to it as well.